Hello and welcome to Misty Mountain Homestead. My name is Leanne and today we'll be making a classic hummus. And with the classic hummus, it's always requires some tahini. And here we'll make our own tahini. So I usually start with the tahini. But before we go ahead, I'm going to explain that we buy our chickpeas in bulk. And then I can them in these mason jars. These are half pint. No, sorry, not half pint. They are a pint jar, a wide mouth. It's just easier. And what you do is, like, the trick is you have to take the skin off the chickpeas. That makes a really nice, smooth hummus. So we're gonna start with putting a quarter cup of sesame seeds. For tahini, I find it easier, especially to make it at home. I find it easier with the white sesame seed versus the brown one. The brown one seems to be a little harder to mix into a paste, I find. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm using a magic bullet, or who knows. You want to add some salt to this. About an eighth of a teaspoon, or a quarter of a teaspoon if you wish. And then I just like to put some olive oil in there. And my problem is I didn't used to put enough olive oil. So now I just put a little more, because like hummus, you don't particularly eat that one like reheating it or anything. It's cold. So if you have a good olive oil, a good quality olive oil, you should be able to, it will be healthy to consume that raw. As long as it's not heated and it's a good quality olive oil, you can have a lot. This is why it's much better to do the tahini yourself. If you buy the tahini, they put oil in it, you don't know what kind of oil it is, or if it has any heating process or anything. So anyway, we'll just put that for a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so I ran this for about a minute, maybe a little more, not much more than a minute. And I just ran that in the magic bullet, so it's pretty liquidy. So we're gonna put our chickpeas, canned chickpeas, in a blender. You can I use a big cup and an immersion blender, or I use a food processor. It depends. It does a good job in a food processor, but you need to make a bigger batch in a food processor. Our food processor is quite big, and to do like just one jar, a little bit at a time, it doesn't do as good job as the blender. So that's why I prefer the blender for this. Okay, so now we're gonna add some salt. I like to add about half a teaspoon salt and half a teaspoon of cumin. And then we'll pour the tahini in there. Tahini is very liquidy. I put a lot of oil in it. You don't have to. If you prefer not to use a lot of oil, if you don't have good quality oil, you put a little bit less, and then you'll end up putting a little more water for your hummus. I find it tastes better with this. For us, it's substitute for butter most of the time, like on toast and things like that. So I like to get all of it. And you get more calcium like this too. There's a lot of calcium in sesame seeds. So, and then this is about a cup of water. I'm not gonna put the whole cup. Maybe about half. So half a cup of water. We'll put this in. And then we're going to put this in the blender and run this. And once again, we're going to pause this because no one needs to hear this blender running for a minute or two. So we'll be back. And we're back. Okay. And we like to make it a little more soft now. Oh, geez, I forgot my spatula. Hold on. Okay, we used to make it a little bit thicker. I don't know why, maybe I was following a recipe online or something. And I'm pretty bad at following recipes. Anybody that knows me can vouch for that. So, but I finally like it better like this now. But I did add half a cup. So most people like this little more thicker texture. So I would put maybe, anywhere between a quarter of a cup of water to a third of a cup of water. If you want to have it thicker, like more, I would say more normal, like what people like to eat it. We prefer it like this now. I find like if you put it on toast, it's just, it feels more like butter because it goes into the air bubbles of the bread, which we make sourdough bread here anyway, so I don't know, it just tastes better for us. That's the way we like it. But if you prefer like a regular hummus, like I said, just put a little bit less water. And you know, the thing is, and once you start doing your things, then you can just start adjusting for what you like, for what you want to use. So this is what it's fun about doing stuff yourself. And if you don't like an ingredient, you just do something else. So anyway, this is what it turns out, and I'll be putting that in the fridge once it cools off a little bit. And that will last, I would say, about a week, a little over a week in the fridge, no problem. So if you have any comment, just please let me know. I'd like to see any feedback. If you have a different version of doing this, please leave me a message in the comment, and I appreciate it. And I'm welcome to any new ideas or recipe. And if you have something in particular that you would like me to do a video on, just put it in the comment below and I'll try my best to do it. Okay, well, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please click subscribe, gives me a thumbs up, and share the video. That's gonna help me a lot. Just if you can share the video, I would really appreciate it. And we'll see you until next time.